Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking those standard, everyday A2 level English skills and upgrading them into polished, highly professional tools for tourism and booking management. Whether you're holding down a chaotic hotel front desk, wrangling tour groups, or managing complex reservations, the way you communicate literally sets the entire tone for your guests' experience. So let's dive right in and see how just a few simple structural tweaks can completely transform your professional presence. All right, picture this scenario. A guest has just walked through your doors after a brutal 12-hour flight. They're totally exhausted, carrying heavy luggage, and they finally make it to your front desk. You absolutely need their identification to check them in. But here's the catch. How do you ask for their most sensitive document, their passport, without sounding like you're interrogating them? We've all felt that brief flash of panic, right? Worrying that our words might accidentally offend someone who just arrived. It's a super relatable situation, but it's also one that we can easily master. So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the 3 pillars of professionalism. First up, the art of polite requests. Second, mastering prepositions of time. And third, confirming future travel plans. Let's kick things off with Pillar 1, the art of polite requests. In data step tourism operations, you are constantly asking for sensitive client data. Think names, passports, credit card details, the whole shebang. Because of this, using polite language patterns is absolutely crucial to make sure the interaction stays warm and welcoming. If you use a blunt command like, "Give me your name," well, it just sounds demanding, doesn't it? But if you pivot to an open modal request like, "Could I have your full name, please?" You're getting the exact same information, but the guest actually feels respected. It takes the interaction from kind of cringy to perfectly smooth in seconds. Let's look at another really common interaction. Say you need to verify a booking. A hard, "Show me your voucher," immediately puts people on the defensive. But switch that up to, "Can I see your booking confirmation voucher, please?" And suddenly, you're executing a highly professional document request. Notice the simple formula we're using here? We start with, "Can I see?" or "Could I have?" Drop in the noun we need, and always end with a polite please. It's a remarkably simple breakdown, but it's a real game changer. Now, aside from those modal requests, we also lean heavily on W questions to grab specific booking details. Instead of barking, "Give me your booking number," you can warmly ask, "What is your reservation number?" where what pinpoints that exact file. Checking on arrival times? Use when, as in, "When are you planning to arrive?" Need to clarify who the room is actually for? Just go with who. Who is the booking for? And to get that bill paid smoothly, you use how. How would you like to pay? These focused words get you exactly what you need without ever breaking that friendly, hospitable tone. Okay, I've got a quick insider tip for you to avoid a very common grammar trap. You might actually be tempted to say, "Could I too have your passport?" You'd be surprised how often you hear this, but it's a definite mistake. Never ever use the word to right after modal verbs like can and could. The right way to do it is always the modal directly followed by the base verb. So, "Could I have your passport, please?" Keep it clean, keep it simple. Moving right along, let's hit Pillar 2, mastering prepositions of time. In this industry, managing dates, transport times, and tour schedules with total accuracy is really what separates the amateurs from the pros. Nailing this prevents nasty administrative headaches and completely wipes out customer confusion. To wrap our heads around this, picture a pyramid. We're walking up from broad, generalized timeframes at the big, wide base, all the way up to super specific points at the top. The base of our pyramid is in. We use in for massive chunks of time, months, years, seasons, and general parts of the day. Stepping up one level, we hit on. Now we're narrowing things down to specific days of the week and exact calendar dates. Finally, right at the peak, we have at. This is your razor-sharp precision tool for specific clock times and fixed moments like midnight. Let's look at how this actually plays out on the job. Right at the top of the pyramid, we use at for exact times. The airport train leaves at 08:30 a.m. Dropping down to the middle, we use on for specific days. Your flight to Madrid is on Monday. And down at our broad base, we use in for those bigger periods. The high tourist season begins in July. Sticking to this pyramid structure guarantees your guests know exactly when and where they're supposed to be, every single time. Time for another quick tip. And listen up, because this specific mistake is a one-way ticket to a missed bus. You might hear folks say, "The bus departs on Monday at the morning." This mixes up our pyramid levels completely. The correct professional way to say this is, "The bus departs on Monday in the morning." Just remember, on for the days of the week and in for parts of the day like the morning, afternoon, or evening. And that brings us to Pillar 3, confirming future travel plans. Now, you know how textbook English usually tells you the present continuous tense is only for things happening right now in this exact moment? Well, in hospitality, that rule kind of goes out the window. It's actually the gold standard for talking about future itineraries that are totally locked in and confirmed. The structure is super straightforward. Take your subject, add the to be verb, and then an ing action verb. To confirm a plan, you'd say, Mr. Smith is arriving tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. If you need to give a negative update, we are not operating the city tour this Thursday. And for a question, are you staying with us for 3 nights? It's crisp, it's direct, and there is zero room for misunderstandings.
So you might be wondering, why on earth do we use a present structure for something in the future? It's because tourism schedules are incredibly rigid. When you look at a guest and say, the group is leaving the hotel at 09 a.m., using that present continuous tense subconsciously sends a message. It tells them, hey, your plan isn't just a vague idea, it is firmly locked into our system. The bus is out there, the driver has the keys, and this is happening. It projects absolute confidence.
Before we wrap up, I want to drop one final tip about asking these confirmation questions. It is really tempting to just make a statement and raise your pitch at the end to turn it into a question, like, they are arriving tomorrow at 5? But honestly, in a professional setting, that just makes you sound unsure. To ask a proper confirmation question, you've got to invert the to be verb and the subject, so it perfectly becomes, are they arriving tomorrow at 5? It's a tiny little flip, but it makes you sound incredibly confident and totally in control.
Well, we have covered a lot of ground today. From those smooth, polite modal requests to our trusty pyramid of time prepositions, right through to locking down future itineraries with the present continuous. As we finish up, I want to leave you with a crucial thought to chew on. The next time an exhausted traveler walks up to your desk, will your words build trust, or are they going to create tension? By putting these polished linguistic tools into practice, you literally have the power to guarantee it's the farmer every single time. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.